God showed you this for a reason. So in John 4, verse 28, it says, "Then, leaving her water jar, the woman went back to the town and said to the people, 'Come, see a man who told me everything I ever did. Could this be the Messiah?' They came out of the town and made their way toward him." So essentially, the Samaritan woman found Jesus at the well, and Jesus was just saying all these facts about the woman, essentially word of knowledge that there's no way of him knowing unless he's God or God gave him this information. So the Samaritan woman was just so like surprised by that, and she was like, whoa, like in awe of what happened. And when when Jesus said, like, hey, I am actually the Messiah, when she was saying like, oh, there's some kind of Messiah out there, that's when the woman was just like so in awe, like, oh man, like I need to tell the whole town. And she shared her testimony with the town. And what's interesting is like the woman, I mean, she just had an encounter with God. She didn't know all these teachings about Jesus, but she was willing to share her faith with so many people. And it says in John 4, verse 39, "Many of the Samaritans from that town believed in him because of the woman's testimony. He told me everything I ever did." So when the Samaritans came to him, they urged him to stay with them, and he stayed for 2 days. And because of his words, many more became believers. So first of all, the most interesting thing to me is how this Samaritan woman doesn't even know much about the teachings of Jesus, yet she was willing to share her testimony with the town. And she had so much boldness in her faith through her encounters. So I think that is a lesson that we need to learn, that regardless of what we know, how much knowledge we have about the Bible, we don't need to have the scriptures like so memorized or have it all together in order to share our faith with others. It's truly our encounters that we should be sharing with Jesus, because it's the encounters that make the biggest difference when it comes to sharing your faith. For me, like whenever I share my faith with others, I'm sharing the encounters that I had with God and how that changed my life. So anyways, the lesson learned here is be bold about your faith regardless of how much you think you should know and how much you know, because it's really about our testimony that we should be sharing, and sharing the gospel as well. But the other part that I want to share is that people are not going to be truly convinced in the faith or to be in the faith until they encounter Jesus themselves, because it even says in the Bible with those people in the town that they were curious to learn more, when they heard about the woman's testimony. But that was a seed that was planted by the women, that prompted them to want to learn more.